Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to another Real Madrid review. Real Madrid 5, Al-Hilal 3, champions of the world. Say whatever you want, call it against the farmers' teams, call it a farmers' trophies. A trophy is a trophy, and Real Madrid have won it yet again. Incredible. Um, and yeah, champions of the world, because Champions League winners, champions of Europe, we've now won champions of the world, which is obviously the Club World Cup. So look, it's a good result. Let's talk more about it. Going forward, offensively wise, brilliant. We were at it. Valverde, Vinny off the wings, those pace and playing really well. Vinny with those dribbles, leaving Abdul Hamid sort of concerned. Valverde was just tucking in, almost like a center mid at times, playing in the middle, um, and 2 goals for him. The form is back for Fede. Obviously, we saw that he hasn't done or hasn't scored in 15 games now. I don't expect him to score every game. Like I said, I don't expect him to score every single game, every game getting a goal or two. But even if you look at the 14, 15 games he hasn't scored in, he hasn't really performed that well in. So, look, last 2 games, he has found his form again in terms of playing well and obviously getting the goals as well, which is an extra bonus, is an added bonus, and Valverde has a goal in him. So, look, we'll need this Valverde back. Valverde, when he's at his best, when he's playing really well, is what we need. Considering this season is going to be huge, and considering he might have to be playing off the right a lot more, because Rodrigo might have to cover for Benzema, and Asensio doesn't offer what Valverde offers. Valverde offers the pace and even helping back defensively, which is a huge part of his game. Coming back, helping defensively is huge, right? And he almost comes in and makes it like a 4-4-2 at times, with him playing through the middle into the center mid role. So, Valverde is a huge player, getting the 2 goals for him. Vinny Jr. getting 2 goals as well. Again, Vinny Jr. scoring, I have no issues. On the pitch, I have no issues, except for at times he needs to chill down. I've been saying it. I said it last review. Calm down, Vinny. Obviously, he's suspended against Elche, getting the yellow card against Mallorca. Now, just go take a week break, because he's gonna have a week off. He's not gonna play the game in between. He'll be back, I think, what's the next thing after, like Osasuna or something like that. Take their week off, come back fresher, and just clear your mind. What has happened to you has happened to you. But on the pitch, we can't deny that he gets too intimidated. He gets too mad. It's like he wants to fight. He wants to push. He wants to argue a lot. Just stop this. Stop this, trying to fight, argue, and just play the football. That's all I've got to say. But Vinny Jr. playing really well. And obviously, don't get it twisted, I do not agree with what's been happening with Vinny Jr. The racist stuff, it doesn't, or it can't be tolerated. But the way he reacts to it as well plays a huge part in how he's getting treated. And he has to help himself, right? If Vinny Jr. is just a normal player trying to play football and he's getting the abuse, people will be going, he's just a player trying to play football and he's getting abused for no reason. But because Vinny is constantly trying to argue and fight, people will be going, I can understand that, but it doesn't help that he's also, getting involved and trying to fight and argue. So, look, it's the best for him. Go and take a week off now and hopefully come back strong, as we need Vinny Jr. for the rest of the season. Benzema thrown in straight after coming back might have been a good decision, actually, because it was a risk playing Benzema straight away. Maybe it might be another injury. He wasn't the most sharp and fully fit, but he played for I believe like 63 minutes, and then I think Rodrigo came on to replace him. it just shows how important he is. He can be not fully fit for a week and gets thrown in because he's important. And I'll tell you why Rodrigo didn't play. First up, Rodrigo didn't play because Benzema is a way better player at striker, which then tells you that Rodrigo isn't meant or built to play up front. So please, Real Madrid, bring someone in the summer as second striker, as a second option. Mariano will be leaving. Eden Hazard should be sold. I would even sell Asensio at this moment. You know, you need another striker. You need another right winger. But striker is something we're calling out for. Please do something. Please do something. Right. Anyways, let's talk about the first goal. Vini Jr. with the goal. Benzema sliding Vini Jr. through, and he scores with a composed finish under the legs of Al-Hilal. And then the second goal was scored by Fede Valverde. Modric with a low ball into the box, beaten away by Al-Hilal again, headed out by Jang Kyun-so, forced to Fede Valverde, who volleys it for number 2. But here comes the poor part, and here comes, the basics, defense. Now, there is this famous saying by Sir Alex Ferguson: attack wins you games, defend wins you titles. Now, yes, we won the game. Yes, we scored 5 goals. But what's also true is we conceded 3 to Al-Hilal. Now, I don't want to disrespect them, because you look at that team, it's actually not a bad team. Marega, Vietzo, Carrillo, Aldasari. There is some quality in there, and some of those players have played in Europe, like Marega. He's an ex-Porto player. But 3 goals we have conceded. And defensively, it's not like we conceded 3 goals because it was like completely unstoppable. It was sliding their players through. Yes, it's like a counter-attack through ball. And our players seemed so confused, so lost, and so slow. Rudiger, I don't know what's happened to him in this restart, since the restart. First half of the season, I thought it was really, really good. He's come on in. He looked like he just wasn't it today. Alaba obviously recovering, getting back. Mendy out for the rest of the season. Militao still out. Carvalho back. Camavinga playing left. But even though, to be fair, most of the game he tucked in as a midfielder as well. And yeah, Rudiger was one of the, I wouldn't say poor players, but he just wasn't as good as one of the players on the pitch today. And yeah, it's what it is. Obviously, that needs to be worked on. Something has to be worked on, right? But Marega was slid through by Kano with a true ball, and he puts it under the arms of Lunin, just about beyond reach. Bit unfortunate for Andre, who, by the way, was his birthday as well. So happy birthday, Lunin. Lots of criticism for him. Yes, he won it on his birthday. He won this trophy on his birthday, and he conceded 3 goals. But I know he isn't the greatest young goalkeeper ever, but it takes time. Majority of the season, he hasn't played. He played at the start for a little while when Courtois was out, and then Courtois straight away was thrown back in again, and Lunin hasn't played for a little while, and then Courtois went out, and Lunin, who wasn't expecting to play, suddenly came in and played, and then we lost, and then played the last 2 games where we have conceded. So, look, it's what it is. He's conceded 5 goals in the last 3 games he's played in. It's poor, but I wouldn't necessarily just fully go all in on Lunin. I think it's very unfair, right? It's a team. It's collective. We win together, we lose together. We score together, we concede together. It's a team effort. Lunin has a huge part to play in those goals, obviously, but we can't blame it fully on Lunin. It's unfair to do so. The third goal was scored by Benzema, King, Karim, Vini Jr. and Camavinga linking up well. Vini Jr. played a beautiful Trivela. Beautiful. and then Benzema slams it home for number 3. And then Valverde made it 4-1. Carvajal with a low pass forward for Valverde, and he puts it beyond Al-Mayuf 4. However, they got another one back. Vieto, he was in a 1v1 situation versus Lunin, and he tricks Lunin before putting it the other way and scoring the second for Al-Hilal, and it was 4-2. The last goal was arguably my favorite goal, I would say, of the game, for us at least. Vini Jr. with the 5th goal. Vini Jr. not making Abdul Hamid, but the defender reacts actually quite fast enough and clears it out, but it falls straight to Ceballos, who tries a fake shot, but Vini Jr. just took the ball away. Not necessarily took the ball away, but just stole the shot essentially, because I think Ceballos would have maybe hit it with his left foot or crossed it in, but Vini Jr. just thought, you know what, screw this, I'm just going to shoot, and he closed it home. 5-2. And then the last goal was scored again by Vieto. I think it was Mikel, scoring it for Vieto, who spins and turns away from Nacho and passes it into an empty net. 5-3. So those are the goals done. Let's talk more about this game as a whole, as a general. In general, champions of the world. Obviously, a trophy is a trophy. We win a trophy, it's what it is. We take it, right? But in terms of the game, I know going forward, and I think Real Madrid fans see it, right? Going forward, we can score. We scored 5 goals. The last time we scored 5 goals actually was against Celtic, right? So it's been a while. And you know, yes, it might not be the strongest team ever to score 5 against, but 5 goals is 5 goals. And look, it's about getting the rhythm. It's about getting back to form. We've got Elche next up. You know, surely and hopefully we get 3 points from there. We're currently 8 points off Barcelona in La Liga, right? It's not going to be easy. Definitely La Liga is going to be very difficult, but hopefully we can do it. And we will be definitely pushing Barcelona. And to those saying it's over, until it's about 10 to 15 points gap, and we look like we're slowly fading away, I'm not going to say it's over, because right now it's 3 games. Barca lose 3, we win 3, and we're ahead again. So look, anything can happen. And Barcelona recently, actually, I don't think have been playing the best, even though they've been getting the results. And look, I think the result is the most important thing, and they have been getting the results, but hopefully they slip up somewhere, because they have got the Europa League coming back in as well, so hopefully they slip up somewhere. But for me, defensively is the main issue. Mendy will be out for basically the rest of the season. We've got players like Carvajal, we've got Militao, we've got Alaba. I would even argue Lucas Vazquez, Courtois. Some of these players at the back can't seem to stay fully fit. You know, whether it's an age issue, or you know, keep on getting played too much, fatigue, or just getting injured. You know, it's the same thing, which is they can't play every game. So who replaces them is a key. You know, Carvajal has been replaced by Vazquez, but Vazquez is out. So who's gonna take over? Nacho? I mean, Odriozola? Who? Vinny Tobias? Hasn't even played yet, I don't think, in the first team. Centre back wise, you know, Alaba, Rudiger, Nacho, technically Militao. Militao is out at the moment. Alaba just came back. Rudiger's on poor form. Nacho realistically, but he can be poor at times. Left back, Mendy's out. Currently, Camavinga plays there. He can do a job there. Alaba can help provide extra cover if needed as well. And Courtois, again, with the same issues this season. So, Lunin has stepped in. People would say Lunin hasn't looked as good, which I would agree that he isn't as good as a goalkeeper as Courtois. But I don't think it's fully down to Lunin that we are not playing well defensively. You can't tell me Rudiger played incredibly well. You can't tell me that the defense played incredibly well, except for Lunin. You can't tell me that. Going forward, like I said, we got goals in us. Defensively, can we stop teams are scoring. I said it earlier. The famous saying by Sir Alex Ferguson, and I'll end off here. Attack wins your games, defend win your titles. And if we can't build our team and play off the back, how are we going to win trophies? And that is a huge key to success. Winning trophies, obviously, but defense. The defense is the key, right? Because if you don't score goals, you can get a draw. If you don't concede, actually, never mind. If you can't score goals, right? Obviously, you can still get a draw. But if you can't defend and you can't stop your opponent from scoring, you're more likely to lose, right? So look. Next up, we've got Alche. Vinny Jr. will be out for that game due to suspension. Hopefully, he clears his mind, clears his head. You know, this unnecessary argument and fight he's getting into in the games has to be reduced. I don't agree with what's happening to him and what's been done to him and what's been said to him, but he isn't helping the situation himself as well. So there's a bit of both, but hopefully he gets the rest he deserves. He goes and clears his mind, and he comes back strong. And yeah, champions of the world, which is something that is a huge thing to say, really. But that'll be it for today's review. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's review. Hit the like button as did. Subscribe to the channel if it's on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.